Hey guys, welcome to a not so quick guide of how to get all the skulls and terminals in Halo Campaign Evolve. So as soon as you get control of Master Chief, you're gonna go to the corner of the cryo room, go to the ledge, and you're gonna find the speed limit skull. Not so long after that, you're gonna search for the room BO2L, where you can find some gun racks and everything. You're gonna find the skull right in the middle of the racks, as you can see. Super easy. After the cinematic of Captain Keys, you have to get back, and you see these screens with the pilots, and below them you're gonna find the perspective skull. After that, we have only the terminal left in this level, so continue through the mission and you're gonna find the room CO4U, where you can see the cryo room, and instead of following the path, you turn around and you're gonna find the terminal over here. For most of the clips in this video, I'm gonna speed up so we can make this video as short as possible, but still you can follow along as we go. For the second level, you're gonna have to find the Marines in this structure that is gonna be ahead, and you're gonna have to defend it from waves of enemies. It's gonna be like 6 or 7, don't remember. But once you get the Warhog, and I recommend that you get the Warhog because you can just go walking. Just follow along the mission. There's the waypoint over here. Do a 360 just for styles, of course. And once you get in the tunnels, you're gonna find yourself a window in between these two jumps. This window right here. You're gonna get closer to the edge and slowly but carefully, because you can overshoot, just jump below and you're gonna find the terminal Forgotten. Not so long after this terminal, you're gonna find this red smoke. Follow along, go to the left into this cave, and on top of this stone you're gonna find the give and take skull. You can rescue the Marines in the order that you want. For me, I decided to go to the first entrance to the left to find this structure, because this is one of the tricky ones, because we have to make a grenade jump. So I recommend you to clean up the Covenant that is gonna be in this structure, or maybe all the enemies if possible. You're gonna jump and go to the middle of the structure. I recommend you facing down. And you're gonna shoot your grenade kinda in between the blue thing and this post over there. So once you time it correctly, you're gonna jump on top of the structure, where you're gonna find the next skull, Grunt Funeral. This one is a little bit tricky, to be honest, so I recommend you to get a checkpoint before you try it, so you can restart the checkpoint if you need it. For the next crash side, to rescue the Marines, you're gonna get into this rocky formation. It's just gonna follow along all the way to the end of the road. Just drop the Warhog, follow this red smoke over here, and just try to follow the path of the video. It's really simple. You just have to jump to this big rock. Be careful with the snipers that is gonna be in the rock in front of us. I already eliminate them, and you're gonna find the skull in this stone. You can clear the jump very easy. Just remember to clean up the snipers before you try to make your life easier. We are now in Truth and Reconciliation. Once you get into the lift to the ship, I recommend you to clean all the waves of the enemies. It's gonna be like 6, 7 or something like that, I don't remember. You just defeat the hunters. You can use the sniper, as it's easier. And so once you kill them, you're gonna go and search for these three over here, these two trees. For some reason I was confused, and you have to be very careful because this one is a little bit tricky. You can overshoot it super easy. So just be careful to land right in the rock below, and you can see the skull over there is iron, and you just have to reset the checkpoint. Continue to the objective of the mission, and you're gonna find this bay with a couple of enemies before we get to the hangar. Just clean the enemies and continue to the path until the end. And you're gonna see these 3 pillars. You can jump in top of this barrel thingy. And we have to jump all three. It's easier if you have the Acrophobia skull, but I'm gonna do it without the Acrophobia skull. You can see it is over there. It's gonna take you a lot of tries, but what it worked for me is just do it in one motion, but it took me a lot of tries. After that hardcore parkour, we're gonna get into the hangar, the big hangar, when you have to clean all the enemy waves. I'm just skipping everything. I just run. For some reason they didn't notice me, and you're gonna get to this room all the way to the edge of the end of the room, and you're gonna wait until they spawn and get from that room. Just run as soon as you can. Try to eliminate most of the enemies or all of them. Just be careful depending on the difficulty that you are. And right around the corner you're gonna find the foreigner skull. Continue with the objectives of the mission, and you're gonna get to this room. You have to go that way, but turn around and go to this door. Just follow along. You're gonna get to another cell. You're gonna open the cell, and inside of one of them we're gonna find the terminal Inquisitor. For the next level, the Silent Cartographer, one of my favorite levels. Once you land on the beach, you have to fight a bunch of enemies, clean them up, and get the Warhog. And to be honest, I like to go this route. You can go the other way, but I just turn around and go the opposite direction. Follow along all the way to the coast. You will find some enemies over here, maybe some guns if you want. But just keep going. Basically, we're gonna get to the objective from the opposite side. We're gonna find this cave over here. And inside the cave, we can access the objective, but also in the middle, in this sunbeam, we're gonna find the Bandana skull. Not so long after that, we're gonna find this opening in the map. Following the mission, there's no issue finding this. But you're gonna find these two hunters. We're gonna have to fight them, because otherwise it's gonna make everything a little bit more difficult. But once you clean it up, in this structure, it's very easy to climb. You just have to go around it, as I'm gonna show you. And in the right side, you're just gonna follow along this path, and you're gonna find the skull Acrophobia over here. After that, once we get inside the structure, when we're supposed to find the map, we're gonna follow along the path, ignore completely the objective of the mission, and all the way over here we're gonna find the terminal status update. After a good chunk of the mission, once we open the rest of the area, we're gonna throw a very bad grenade. We're gonna try to eliminate all the enemies over here because it's a little bit complicated. You're gonna find two hunters waiting for you over here too. So once you find this kind of atrium corridor or whatever it is, in the bottom you're gonna find the skull. And it's very easy to get, but for some reason I failed the first time. So you can get all the way back. Just jump. You're gonna take a little bit of damage, but you're gonna find the hip fire skull. It's very simple and very easy. Now we are in Assault the control room, the never-ending mission. But once you get the Scorpion and you find this bridge, you're gonna get over there. I got flying through the air for some reason. I just got glitched. But you're gonna park the Scorpion right to the edge of the snow or the ice, whatever it is. Just gonna jump on top. We're gonna jump and fail because we are parkour experts. But this time we're gonna get it, and we're gonna get the skull. Easy peasy. Not so long after that, we're gonna find this opening where a lot of enemies are gonna drop. Just follow along the left. If you want, you're gonna fight the enemies to make it easier, because depending on the difficulty, it will be a little bit more tricky. You're gonna find some turrets and maybe some enemies coming out of this door. I already take them out. But just gonna follow along. I find another one with the sword, but easy peasy, we take them. And all the way to the top, we're gonna find the terminal. Continue to the objectives of the mission, and you're gonna find this door and these structures to the left. There's no missing them. Go all the way to the last one, climb on top, and in the very, very middle, you're gonna find the Angry Skull. Once you continue to the mission and you're gonna get into this bridge, run really quickly and try to get these elites before they board the Banshees. If you do that, you're gonna get an achievement. After you eliminate the elites, you're gonna see the structure to our left. I'm gonna point it out right here. And you're gonna jump right in the middle. The skull is gonna be below. But obviously, I'm super good at parkour and failed the first time. No problem. You will restart the checkpoint. And just right below the bridge, we're gonna find the Cowbell skull. We move on to the next level, 343 Guilty Spark, when we're going to hog the rightmost side of the level. And we're gonna try to find this dropship over here, that one, the one that crashed. We're gonna clean a little bit of the enemies, not so picky, and try to follow the dirt path along like this until you find some roots. There you go, these roots over here. Once you find it, you just climb a little bit the hill and you're gonna find the fog skull sitting right there. Once we get inside of the building, it's super easy to find this room if you go through the mission. And you're gonna find this door over here. It's very easy to find. After this corridor, we're gonna find the crazy marine.
Stay back, you're not turning me.
And the only way that we can get this skull, unfortunately, is to unalive him. There you are. That is just wrong. But there's the skull. For the next one, once the objective is just to escape from the facility, we're gonna find this room with a bridge that we didn't have access before. If you need to clean the enemies, do it. It's a little bit annoying because it's the flood. But you just go through this door that it was blocked before. Get inside, follow the path as if you go through the mission. But right here, around the corner, you're gonna find the terminal. This one is not so complicated, but once you get to the next skull, you have to be careful not to get all the enemies before you get the skull. So try to follow along all the right side of the map. Follow along until you find the structure where you have to fight and defend from the flood. When you're going to have to wait for the sentinels and everything. But you just hug the right side. We're gonna try to find a tree that is acting as a bridge between two stones. This one over here. It's very easy to find. We're just gonna climb it and get to the next stone over here. And right into the left, we're gonna find in the ground the next skull. Just remember not to get all the enemies before you get the skull, because once you get the last enemy, it's gonna end the level right away. We move on to the fan favorite level, the library. Once you go through the first tunnel, you're just gonna turn around once you're outside, and to the left, in the pillar at the top, you're gonna find the 12th skull. Very easy to find, no problem. We follow along the mission, and once we get to the first door, not so long away from the other skull, on the opposite side of the door, you're gonna find this pillar. We're gonna climb, and we're gonna do a little bit of hardcore parkour. These are not difficult jumps. You don't need to do crouch jumps or anything. Just try to run, get a little bit of a head start, and you're gonna clear it super easy. This is gonna be the pop skull. Not so long after that, we're gonna find this room over here. We have two choices of rooms. We're gonna choose the left one, ignoring the mission completely. Over here, we're gonna find this door. You can just shoot these egg-looking things. I just like to throw the grenade. Inside of this room, you can find some ammo, but also the terminal tangent tree.
Unfortunately, his combat skin proved even less suitable than yours.
We follow along the mission, but this time it's gonna take a while. In the last elevator, once we clear all the enemies, you can get inside of this tunnel, take the left right away, and you're gonna find in the floor the next skull. Once we finish this level, we're gonna find the cinematic. Right after the cinematic, we can just run around behind the map or wherever it was the control, and we're gonna find the terminal alone. Right away, when we get out of this facility, we want to run, or you can clear the enemies, but I prefer just running away and get all the way to the Banshee in the bottom. Just be careful of the riot in the right. Take the Banshee, fly away, and look for this structure over here. We're gonna get right where the crosshair is. And try to land the Banshee over here. Just try to align it properly, because if you don't do it, this is what happened. But you actually can just land the Banshee and keep the Banshee so you can continue with the level, or you can just restart the checkpoint like we did with the last skull that we find in a bridge. Either way, you're gonna get the skull no matter what, so you don't need to do it in a continuous run. Once you continue to the mission, we're gonna find this corridor to the outside area where the other skull was before. But at this time, we're gonna climb in the middle arch. And right away to our right is very easy to miss, so just look for it. There's gonna be this tiny thing, the black eye skull. After you continue escaping along the path, you're gonna find some elites and hunters fighting to brute flood or whatever. Just try to get into the Banshee, because we have to fly to the middle structure right at the top. We have to clean the enemies. Be careful because the grunts have fuel rods. So just once you land, you're gonna find this button. We're gonna try to get to the opposite side facing the button. So jump into your Banshee again, fly away right in front of the button, and in this case we have to eliminate every single one of the enemies in order to access all the areas of this part to unlock the skull. Be careful, the fight is very brutal. We have a lot of enemies with fuel rods, swords, brute floods, and you have to get into two areas and also a corridor with a rocket launcher flood. So it's very tricky. You have to eliminate every single one. Once you get all of them, you're gonna find in the center of the room of this arena looking thing the Mythic skull. It's a little bit of a grind. It's a little bit difficult, but be patient. You're gonna get it. Now, the next one, speaking of grinding, you will notice that we have a stopwatch right in the screen that I'm gonna put it on top, because this one is a little bit of a speed run, and I'm gonna put a couple of runs just so you can get acquaintance of the path that you have to get, because it's not easy. And it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of a skill. I recommend you not to jump when you find enemies unless it's absolutely necessary. And the good news is that you can do this below, or you have to do it below 3 minutes or 5 minutes, don't remember. But if you get a checkpoint in between, the stopwatch restarts, or the timing that
The
you
Covenant
have a
and
limit
Flood are
for the
attacking
skull to
each other.
despawn and restart.
recommend you
So
wait
don't
until they worn
be
each other
so
down.
apprehensive
Then
of
we'll
doing it
only
in
have to deal
just
with the
one
stragglers.
continuous run. You can do it in multiple runs or with the checkpoints. Just be aware, or try to be aware to do it in less than 5 minutes or 3 minutes. I put myself the goal for 3 minutes, and for example, I think in this run I was able to get into the main area below the 3 minutes. I was almost like 2.5 or something like that.
I'm reading the captain's transponder. He's in the control room. But I'm not
Also, I
detecting
recommend
any
you
human life
to get the
signs.
shotgun and to get a sniper rifle, because you have to defend and kill the target enemies
Captain,
once you
I've
get
lost
into
him.
the top or the lift of this area.
the crash did more damage
Well,
than I
you will
suspected.
see right after. I think it's this run the
Coolant
one
leakage
that
rate is
I was
significant.
able to get
The
all
ship's
the way to the
reactors should
end.
already have gone critical.
You just try to
We
follow
should head
along the
this way
path.
towards
It's
the
very
ship's
easy.
gravity lens.
Basically, you just follow the path and avoid the enemies. Don't kill anybody unless it's absolutely necessary. I'm just running around.
We have to find him.
I explode in this one
I'm
because my
reading the
gun
captain's
was
transponder.
glitched.
He's
I
in
was
the
invisible,
control
but
room.
not really
But
invisible.
I'm not detecting any human
But
life
for this one, I put the
signs.
stopwatch so you can see the timing that I got. Even though
Captain,
I'm not gonna be
Captain.
able to complete it
I've lost him.
at the end. But as you can see, you have
The crash did more damage than I suspected.
the invisibility right
Analyzing.
away,
Coolant leakage
so time
rate
it
is
perfectly
significant. The ship's reactors
so
should
you can
already
use
have
it
gone
to
critical.
avoid some of the enemies.
We should head this way towards
I
the ship's
use it-
gravity lift.
Just right before I get the sniper rifle, I'm gonna tell you when. This corridor over here is one of the most difficult. I jump, but I recommend you not to. You just have to
We have
time
to
it
find him.
correctly, just to avoid all the explosion dudes. But over here, I just put the visibility, hit
The
that
Covenant
dude.
and
I
Flood
didn't do
are
it in this
attacking
one,
each other.
but I took
I
this
recommend
sniper.
we wait until
I
they
just
worn
follow
each
this
other
path
down.
every single
Then
time,
we'll only have to deal
and
with the stragglers.
everybody is just ignoring me. In this case, I didn't get the sniper or the shotgun, but basically, if you follow this path, you don't need to use the gun until the very end, and you're gonna see why. Also, over here, there's always explosion from the rock monster, but sometimes it misses, sometimes it points to the left, so be careful.
Power source detected.
And once you get to this
There's the
area,
gravity lift.
the end area,
Still
you can grab
operational.
the
That's
shield.
our way back in.
I just basically almost all the time put it right away, or just try to avoid these enemies.
vitals are
No one is
fading.
paying a lot of
Please,
attention
Chief,
unless
hurry.
you really bump into the other enemies. But once you get over here, you're gonna see them marking on the enemies. I could have changed my camera so far. But once you get into that area, you need to defend and
I'm
kill
reading the
those
captain's
market enemies.
transponder. He's in the control
And I
room.
got there in 1 minute and 50 seconds. So basically 2 minutes, and you have the other minute to eliminate the rest of the enemies. In this case, I'm taking the shotgun. This is one of my standard runs. First, take the shotgun, reload where I fall, take the
The crash
invis,
did more damage than I suspected.
and follow the path.
Analyzing.
Just keep the shotgun just in case I need to shoot someone
The ship's reactors should already
in
have
my
gone
way.
critical.
That usually there's no one in my
We
way
should head this way towards the ship's gravity lift.
until this point, which is the most complicated for me. I was struggling a lot, but I was trying to time it a little bit. In this case, I couldn't pass. But this is the one. Also, you need to do this in heroic or legendary. There's no other way that the skull is gonna spawn. You can see over there that I was very lucky to avoid those guys.
Wait.
This case, I just put my invis, take the sniper rifle. I was very lucky in that. I keep it just bumping around every single part of the map, but no worries. Just keep going, try to punch, try to move to the sides instead of jumping, which is basically what kills me a lot of the times. Just in some cases like this, for example, I just jump, try to go around, just not stay still at all. try to avoid this rocket launcher. Usually takes the shield, so it's helping you a little bit. I like to hug the left. It worked for me more than the other times. Every single time I get this shield, keep going around, and I'm always ignoring these guys, but I put my shield just in case. So even though I go in front of them, I just keep going. In this case, I was very lucky because these guys didn't pay any attention to me, so I was able to just get one from behind, just get the sword guy, and all the other enemies I just get in with a grenade, and that's it. So you just put yourself in the middle of the platform because it's gonna be right on top of you, so you can smash the button to grab, or just gonna find the skull right in the floor in the middle of the platform, and that's it. After all that grind, we need a skull that is easy. So once we get into this bay, you just hug the right of the room, avoid all these enemies. You're gonna find this rat over here, just jump around it, and right around the corner we're gonna find the next skull. Way easier than the other one, and we need it after all that grind. Not so long after that, we're gonna find this shuttle bay. Just hug the left of the room, get inside of this door, follow along the path. You're gonna fight some of elites and unfortunately some hunters, so take these fuel rods. I recommend you, if you do, just take them and shoot all the hunters while they're fighting the flood. Once you get the hunters, right around the corner, we're gonna find the terminal costume. Now, almost at the end of the level, once we finish the sad cinematic of Captain Keys, we're gonna find him over here, the remains. We have to smash them because the next skull is gonna drop it, and is a very sad cinematic, but it's the last skull for the level, Pinata. We are now in the last mission of the normal campaign. We're gonna find this BO3L room. Once you clean all the enemies over here, in the middle, you're gonna find the terminal arrival. Now we have to continue along the mission on our way to the engine room. We're gonna find this fight between Sentinels and the Flood, but I already take them down. And right in the corner over here, we're gonna have to do some parkour. That obviously I'm an expert on it, but we're gonna find the Stowed reload skull. As you can see, it's super easy jumps, but you know. For the next one, once we get into the engine room, very easy to identify. Just continue along this path. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit, but it's very easy. There's no way we can miss it. We're gonna find some enemies, but you can take a couple so they don't interrupt you. It's not necessary because we can just jump over here really quickly and we can hide behind this box. And right in front of us, we're gonna find the next skull. Over here, you have to crouch for some reason, but here it is, the Boom Skull. Now for the next one, right in the end, when we have to escape in the Warhawk, we have to follow the path. I'm gonna show you, it's very simple. In this case, I'm gonna do it in easy difficulty because why not? I just wanna show you guys. But you're gonna pass one door in the right, we're gonna pass two doors in the right, and right around to the corner in the left. We get into the shortcut, and in the middle of the shortcut, we're gonna find the Thunderstorm skull. Now for the extra missions, boarding action, that is the first one. Once Jenzen activates the thing, Instead of following him, you're just gonna turn around. Once you clear all this area from the beginning, all the enemies, follow this path, get all the way into the room behind us, and in this bridge, we're gonna find the Malfunction skull. For the second one, once you clean up this training room, what it seems to be, you just get all the way to the back, follow this path, get into the previous room from the top, clean up the new spawn enemies. It's just gonna be a couple of elites. And right over here in the top area in the bridge, you're gonna find the Johnny Amos Seed skull. Once you continue along the mission, you're gonna find this lift. Once Jenzen activates him, they're gonna unlock some of the doors. So go to your left, don't go into the lift, and right away take another left, and in front of the door you're gonna find the Leadhead skull. We're gonna get back, but this time we're gonna get on the lift because we're gonna find the terminal right away. Once we jump, instead of following Jenzen through the objective, we turn around. We go through this door, we miss the terminal, we get back, and there it is, the path. And by the way, all the levels have 3 skulls and 1 terminal, even the new levels. The next one is a little bit more tricky, it's in 3 parts, so you have to be very careful. This time we have to go along this path, we're gonna find this target over here. We have to break his shield, even though he is invincible in all the areas that we're gonna find him. We have to make sure to break the shields. Follow along the mission and you're gonna find this bridge. You have to be very fast in this case because it's gonna be right at the end of this bridge in front of us. If you have a long range weapon, it's gonna be easier. It's right there, it's barely visible, but you need to break his shields before he gets away. Otherwise, you need to restart the mission. Once you clean all the enemies in this area, you have to get back to this door. And in these pillars, we have to explode these crates over here. Once you do it, the door is gonna open and you're gonna find a lot of guns, a lot of ammo, and obviously in the center of the room, the next skull. Once you get inside of the facility, you're gonna find this corridor. You cannot miss the next room. You're gonna have some windows to the left. Instead of going forward to the mission, take the door on the right and it's gonna be right in front of you the terminal Penitent report. Once you get outside, you're gonna find for the last time the primary target that you have to break their shields again. It's gonna be right away in the left. You have to be very fast, break his shields, and you're gonna get waves of enemies. Be very careful, they're gonna be brutes, they're gonna be very hard to kill. But once you get every single one in the middle of the arena, the skull is gonna spawn in the middle of the arena in this light beam looking thing. Once you continue to the level, you're gonna find this area, this opening over here. And right into this tree, you're gonna go around it so we can climb the rocks behind. And it looks easy, but it took me a little bit. Just for some reason, it's a little bit trickier. But I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so you can just see the path. But basically just hug the wall, do some hardcore parkour. And at the end I thought I had it, but for some reason I didn't. But you get the point, we need to get to the end because in one of these flame thingies, we're gonna find the ghost skull right on top. For the next mission, we're gonna get into this bridge area. Instead of going forward, just take the left door, go into the other bridge. take out the enemies, and at the very end of the bridge, right next to the door, you're gonna find the eye patch skull. After a good chunk of the level, once you get into this map rope and you clean all the waves of enemies, Jenzen wants you to follow to the top and then get away from the room, but just ignore it for a moment and you just have to cross the room after the cinematic, by the way. Just get into this door, continue forward to the next room. Over here you're gonna find everything you need, guns, armor, invis, shields, whatever, and tuck it right around the corner in the other room, you're gonna find the terminal. Continue to the mission until you find the next room. It's very easy to identify. It has a platform in the middle and some rocks to the right. And on top of the rocks, there's gonna be the skull. Is one of my favorite ones, Grunt birthday party. It has a little bit of parkour, which I miss several times. It's a little bit tedious to go around, but you can. But right on top of it, you're gonna find the skull. Now for the next skull, you're gonna find this shuttle. You have to take the shuttle. You're gonna find several rooms, but after you regain power, you're gonna find this last area that you have to be very careful because you have to get out of bounds. If you jump on top of this area, you're gonna get out of bounds and you only have 10 seconds to get the skull and get back if you wanna do it in one run, like I'm gonna do. But this is gonna be the last skull of the game. So just take a head start, run back, and just celebrate because you just get all the skulls and terminals in the game. And this one also is a little bit tricky. Use your checkpoints. Have fun, and thanks for watching.